In 1945, the desert surrendered a secret. Buried under the sands of Egypt, hidden from the eyes of the Orthodox Church for nearly 2,000 years, the Nag Hammadi Library resurfaced. These were not just books. They were survival guides. Among these texts lies the Gospel of Philip, a manuscript that terrified the early church fathers, not because it spoke of sin, but because it spoke of physics. History tells us the church burned these books to protect the faithful from heresy, but the Gnostics knew the truth. The church burned these books to protect the Archons from you. There is a specific passage, often redacted, often mistranslated, that describes a form of spiritual technology. Jesus, teaching his inner circle, the true initiates, did not just give them prayers. He didn't just give them metaphors. He gave them mechanics. He revealed 3 physical objects, not decorations, not superstitious but frequency, anchors. The text whispers a dangerous truth. There are 3 things made by hands that carry the light of the pleroma. When the powers, the Archons, see them, they turn away in fear, because they recognize what was brought from above. For centuries, we have been told that spiritual warfare is a battle of morals. But what if it is actually a battle of frequencies? What if the mental oppression, the sudden energy drains, the intrusive thoughts you battle every night are not demons in the religious sense, but parasitic entities operating on a specific low bandwidth vibration? And what if you could simply tune them out? The early Gnostics did not pray for protection. They crafted it. They carried objects that rendered them invisible to the predator class of the astral plane. And because of this, they were The church removed these references, because the institution relies on you being dependent. If you knew you could craft a simple physical item that made you unreachable to manipulation, the entire economy of salvation collapses. You wouldn't need a priest. You wouldn't need an exorcism. You would be sovereign. Tonight, we break the seal on this forbidden knowledge. We will analyze the 3 sacred objects Jesus revealed to his initiates. We will look at the science of resonance, the history of the mineral kingdom, and the power of the written logos. If you are feeling the weight of the world, if you feel the Archons breathing down your neck, listen closely. You are not defenseless. You have simply been disarmed. Tonight, we take the weapons back. To understand why these objects work, we must first understand the enemy. The Gnostics described the Archons, the rulers, not as gods, but as cosmic bureaucrats, the demiurge, and as legions. They are the architects of the material matrix, entities that lack the divine spark, the epinoia, that humans possess. Because they lack this spark, they cannot generate creative energy. They can only harvest it. They are parasitic by nature. They feed on low-frequency emissions, fear, confusion, lust, and despair. The church, in its bid for imperial power, struck a deal with these forces. By suppressing gnosis, direct knowledge, and replacing it with pistis, blind faith, they created a population of sheep easy to herd, easy to harvest. The Gnostics taught that the material world is dense, heavy, and ruled by entropy. To navigate it without being crushed, one needs an anchor to the pleroma, the fullness, the true origin of the soul outside this matrix. Jesus, in the Gnostic tradition, was an emissary from the pleroma. He didn't come to demand worship. He came to hack the system. He understood that the human body is a bioelectrical vessel. If the frequency of the vessel drops, the Archons can attach. If the frequency stays high, they cannot sustain contact. It is a matter of resonance, not righteousness. This is where the concept of frequency anchors comes in. The church taught that the divine was distant in heaven. The Gnostics taught that the divine could be encoded into matter, just as a radio receives a signal because of the quartz crystal inside it. The human biofield can be tuned to the frequency of the monad, the true God, by bringing it into contact with materials that naturally hold that vibration. The 3 objects we are about to reveal are not magic. They are condensers. They hold a charge, and when you carry them, your biofield entrains to them. You become a walking dead zone for archonic activity. The silence of history regarding these objects is not accidental. It is the result of a 1,700-year campaign of information warfare. But the desert remembers, and tonight, so will you. Let us examine the inventory of the resistance. Object 1. The Stone of Heaven. Lapis Lazuli. Jesus revealed as a stone that appears in every major mystery tradition, from the sarcophagus of Tutankhamun to the breastplate of the high priest in Jerusalem. Lapis Lazuli. The Egyptians called it the Stone of Heaven. The Sumerians believed the spirit of the goddess Inanna resided within it. But in the secret book of John, we find the true origin, when Sophia, the divine wisdom, breathed the spark into humanity. The text says it descended as a sapphire fire into the crown. The church calls this poetry. The Gnostics knew it was geology. Sophia encoded the frequency of the divine spark into specific mineral structures. Lapis Lazuli is the physical crystallization of the blue ray, the frequency of hyperception truth, the mechanism. The Archons operate by blinding you. Their primary point of attack is the pineal gland, third eye, and the crown chakra. They flood our environment with fluoride, with chaotic electromagnetic fields, and with distraction. They calcify the gland. They seal the crown. A human with a closed third eye is trapped in the five senses, blind to the entities feeding on them. Lapis Lazuli emits a measurable electromagnetic frequency that matches the resonant oscillation of a healthy, uncalcified pineal gland. It is a tuning fork for your psychic vision. When you wear this stone specifically at the throat or the heart, a process of entrainment begins. Your internal spark recognizes the external stone. They amplify each other. The effect: chosen ones who carry Lapis Lazuli report a specific phenomenon. The lifting of the veil. Within days, the static clears. You begin to see patterns. Synchronicities move from subtle to undeniable. Dreams shift from chaotic fragments to lucid narratives. But most importantly, you begin to perceive the arc. You walk into a room and you know it is occupied by unseen forces. You feel the intrusive thought before it lands. You see the cords attached to toxic people. And this is why the Archons feared this stone. Their power relies on invisibility. They are like mold. They grow in the dark. Lapis Lazuli turns on the light. When you can see the manipulation, you can reject it. You become a sovereign observer. The instruction: if you feel blind, if you feel cut off from your intuition, this is your object. Find a piece of Lapis Lazuli raw or polished. It does not matter, as long as it is genuine. Carry it. Let it touch your skin. For 30 days, do not be without it. It is not just protecting you. It is retraining your biology to remember its divine sight. The second object is the one the church tried hardest to erase. It is not a gem found in the earth, but a talisman created by your own hand. It is a piece of parchment, or pure paper, carrying a specific name. In the Gospel of Philip, it is great name. There is one name that is hidden from everyone except those who truly know themselves. When it is spoken by one who knows, the powers flee. The church taught that this was the name Jesus. But to the Gnostics, Jesus was the messenger, not the source. The name he pointed to was the name of the monad, the source consciousness, the one. The mechanism. Why write it? Why not just say it? Spoken words are powerful, but they are transient. They dissipate into the air. Written words are standing waves. When you take ink, which is carbon, the basis of life, and inscribe a name onto paper, you are collapsing a wave function. You are trapping a high-frequency vibration into physical matter. You are creating a broadcast tower. De prase, is I am, monad. I am is the declaration of existence, the name God gave to Moses. Monad is the Gnostic term for the indivisible source. Together, they form a seal, a statement of identity that overrides the false identity given to you by the effect. The Archons manipulate through confusion, the fog of war. They keep you doubting, second-guessing, looping in anxiety. When you carry this written name, you are carrying a continuous broadcast of truth. I am monad. It acts as a spiritual restraining order. It signals to every entity in the non-physical realm. This being knows what it is. This being is not a battery. This being is a fracture of the infinite. Chosen ones report that the mental fog evaporates within hours of carrying this paper. The arguments that usually drain you don't happen. The energy vampires in your life suddenly avoid you. Why? Because you have become energetically expensive. The interference required to subdue a being who carries the name is too high a cost for the Archon. The instruction: tonight, take a clean piece of paper, not a receipt, not a scrap. Virgin paper. Use ink permanent ink. Right. I am monad. Do not rush. Feel the pen cutting the reality of those words into the paper. Fold it 3 times. 3 is the number of manifestation. Place it in your wallet, your pocket, or a locket. Keep it on your person. You are not asking for protection. You are declaring your authority. The third object requires no money, only intention. It is the vessel of the truth. The Gospel of Philip states, "Truth did not come into the world naked, but it came in types and images." Pure frequency needs a shape to hold it. The symbol Jesus revealed to the inner circle is known as the monad circle, or a simple circle with a single point in the center. The mechanism. This is the most ancient symbol in human history. It is the sun. It is gold. It is God. The circle represents the infinite, the pleroma, the unknowable God. The point represents the spark you. The symbol visually captures the Gnostic truth. You are the point within the infinite. You are distinct, yet inseparable. Why do the Archons fear a drawing? Because Archons exist in the realm of duality and separation. They thrive on the illusion that you are alone, small, and severed from God. This symbol is the geometry of unity. It creates a frequency, field that is mathematically hostile to separation consciousness. The effect, Lapis Lazuli, protects your mind. The written name protects your energy field. The monad circle protects your space. When you draw this symbol and place it in your home above your bed, on your altar, near your adorador, it acts as a territorial marker. It changes the atmosphere of the room. The heaviness of a haunted room lifts. Sleep paralysis stops. Nightmares dissolve. It works like a frequency jammer. The chaotic levib, noise of the Archons, cannot maintain coherence in the presence of the monad's geometry. The instruction: you must draw this yourself. Do not print it. Your hand must be the conduit. Get clean paper and ink. Draw the circle. Mark the center point. As you mark the point, say, "I am here. I am connected." Place this symbol in the room where you sleep. It is the sanctuary seal. It declares that this territory operates under the laws of the monad, not the laws of the Archon. Some will say this is ancient superstition. They will ask, why do I need a rock or a piece of paper in the 21st century? Look around you. The Archons haven't disappeared. They have upgraded. They don't just whisper in the wind anymore. They speak through algorithms. They speak through the blue light of your screens that mimics the sun but carries no life. They attack your pineal gland, not just with spirits, but with synthetic frequencies, Wi-Fi, smog, and infinite distraction. We are living in the most heavily harvested timeline in human history. The energy drain described in the Gnostic texts is now the burnout of the modern worker. The mental fog is now brain fog and attention deficit. Carrying these objects, Lapis Lazuli, the written name, the monad symbol, is an act of radical rebellion. In a digital world, an analog object is a glitch. When you hold the physical stone, you are grounding yourself in the earth, bypassing the digital matrix. When you write with ink, you are stepping out of the cloud and into reality. These objects are your tether to the organic timeline. The Archons operate in the artificial simulation. They fear these objects because they are real. They are frequency anchors that hold you in the organic, divine reality, making it impossible for the artificial simulation to fully digest you. You are the chosen ones of this generation. You are the ones waking up in the middle of the digital coma. These tools were left for you, for 'tis time. The Church removed these teachings because a protected human is a dangerous human. A human who cannot be frightened by demons, who cannot be drained by confusion, and who sees the reality of the control grid that is a human who cannot be ruled. They wanted you to believe that power comes from the priest, from the ritual, from the building. Jesus revealed that power comes from resonance, and that resonance can be held in your hand. You have a choice tonight. You can go back to sleep. You can scroll to the next video. Let the algorithm feed you, and wake up tomorrow with the same heavy chest and the same clouded mind. Or you can conduct an experiment. Choose one object. If you are blind to the truth, find the Lapis Lazuli. If you are drowning in confusion, write the name. If your home feels like a battlefield, draw the circle. Do not take my word for it. The Gnostics were empiricists. They believed in experience, not dogma. Try it. Carry the object, anchor the frequency. And if you are ready to claim your sovereignty, I want you to do 3 things right now. First, leave a comment below. Declare your protection to the algorithm and the ether. Right. Archons fear this. Let them know, you know. Second, subscribe to this channel. We are excavating the forbidden history, piece by piece, and you do not want to miss the advanced techniques coming next. Third, like this video. It signals to the other chosen ones that the information is safe here. The tools are in your hands. The frequency is available. The Archons are watching, and for the first time they are afraid. BT Anka, carry the light. You are untouchable.